Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to Nerdy Gangsta's Gold Table Talk. Can I get a whoop whoop?
Woo woo!
Awesome. Well, I am super excited today because this particular episode is focused on the world of modeling. And we are blessed today to have an awesome group of aspiring models, some actors, some students. So we really have a very diverse, very broad spectrum represented here today. I think this is so pivotal because I think you all being able to tell your stories, your nerdy gangsta moments, as you all are trying to be America's next top model, I think is so pivotal because we know with anything in life, whatever your dreams, whatever your aspirations are, you're going to encounter some type of challenge, some type of obstacle. And so Nerdy Gangsta speaks to that. Whatever that is, just being able to overcome that, right? And so I really love doing these gold table talks because it gives us an opportunity to provide really a living, breathing, just examples of what Nerdy Gangsta stands for. What is Nerdy Gangsta? What does it embody? So we really get to see Nerdy Gangsta in action. We get to see examples of people doing Nerdy Gangsta things, right? And how, doing those things enables you to be successful in your lives, right? Because Nerdy Gangsta is a lifestyle brand. I always like to start off and kind of give, because people say, well, what is Nerdy Gangsta? And they hear the name and they're like, well, what is it? What does it stand for? So just first and foremost, Nerdy Gangsta is a clothing line that was started by me and my family. And our mission is to show that being smart, but not only being smart, but just, continuously seeking knowledge, growing, developing, that really is a cool thing. But not only that, we really want to inspire people to be innovative, to be bold, be driven. Whatever your dreams, your aspirations are, pursue it with boldness and passion, and ultimately use your talents to make a difference. So that's our mission here at Nerdy Gangsta. Often I get asked, where did the name Nerdy Gangsta come from? And it actually started with a nickname that my daughter gave to me. And she referenced an example from a couple of years ago when my husband was diagnosed with cancer and literally given 6 months to live. And she was like, Mom, you just, you didn't, no matter what the doctor said, you stood on your faith. You start reading, researching, finding different alternative treatments, holistic treatments, and so long story short, here we are 5 years later. He's still here, no chemo, no medicine, no nothing. So, and I take no credit. I just, all glory belongs to God because He, sent those resources, the people, just everything to us, and it was truly a blessing. So we got to give a whoop whoop for that because that's. But that was our Nerdy Gangsta moment, and so from that, we just said, what? Let's use that as a springboard to inspire others. Maybe your story is different. Maybe your situation wasn't, like ours. That was like a life or death situation. But, maybe yours is different. And so that's what we want to talk about here today. What is your Nerdy Gangsta moment? What barriers did you have to overcome? What challenges did you face? And so with that, earlier I kind of referenced America's Next Top Model. Um, and, I started to kind of think about that. And I know that show and Tyra Banks, I think it was so revolutionary and really groundbreaking because it just before that, when you thought of the world of modeling, you thought you would kind of see just kind of this monolithic, the models were really very thin, it really was not a very diverse representation. And I think Tyra was super nerdy gangsta because not only did she open doors, she literally kicked down some doors and said, you know what, beauty, comes in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all ethnicities, so you really saw more diverse representation of what beauty is. And truth be told, I think we all kind of wrestle with that, what's beautiful? Do I see myself as beautiful? What do others see when they see me? Am I beautiful enough? Or, so, and especially as women, I think we kind of grapple with that maybe more so than men. But particularly, I know in modeling, that show kind of gave us a glimpse into that world. We know that it is very competitive, but just the things that you go through as you're, making your way and trying to distinguish yourself and become that next top model, So with that, I just want to kind of, let you guys, give you the opportunity to tell your stories. What's your journey been like? What are some of the things that you've had to go through? And I know you guys are still, kind of, making your way, but what success stories, have you encountered in lieu of finding yourself or finding your nerdy gangster moment, So I'm just, because we all have a story to tell. And so we just want to give you an opportunity to tell your story. So we're going to start with Miss Shamaya. So tell us a little bit about your nerdy gangster moment.
Okay, so I am 18, by the way. I might look younger, I might look older, but I'm very versatile with my looks. Okay, so when I was 9 years old, I was actually diagnosed with Graves' disease, hyperthyroid. So it really caused like my neck like big, and like my eyes are bulging out, hair falling out bad. So when it was like about like 5th grade, I was always getting bullied, coming home crying, like I couldn't really take it. I never thought about killing myself, never, because I always believed in God, it would get better. But something about me, I wanted to shave my hair off. I wanted to be different. So I thought about that. And then another thing, my old friend from middle school, her mother had a boutique. And she started modeling. So she asked me to model. And then I was like, okay, let me try this. And then after that moment, I just felt like, wow. So like when I walked out, it is like really like, everyone's clapping, you're so beautiful, and all of this. And it made me feel like, okay, this is where I need to be. And it made me feel real good. So now on, I wear my hair short. I love it. I can change it up like braids, sew-ins, whatever. But I like it. I like my short hair. And I'm very confident in myself now.
Wow.
How long have you been modeling?
9 years now.
9 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
I still want to go. I still want to.
That's
So you took that, not really a negative, well, I guess you could call it a negative or a setback, but you didn't let that stop you, and you definitely didn't let it define you. In fact, it actually helped you find your purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think you were telling me, too, that you, because of that, it gave you an interest in nursing as well to try to help others. Yeah.
So the thing about that, I wanted to be a nurse because I love helping people. I will help people who had the same issue that I have, and I want to like build the confidence in people to, like, it's not, you should never feel that way, and you should do stuff that makes you feel good, and cut your hair, be different, do something different,
Be free.
Yes, just be free.
Stand out.
So it gave you the confidence to just step out and do more than that.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
That's a good thing.
That's so empowering.
But you just use it to like springboard to your next opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's pretty like gangsta, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, and then when I actually modeled and she picked me as to be her model, I was so happy because I have not got so many models. I mean, so much designers as I have before. And when she picked me and she told me to come through my fitting, she explained to me what Nerdy Gangsta is. And I really liked it. And she's my first designer that had a definition behind her line.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it made me confident. I got an outfit and I wear it all the time.
Me too. I'm always wearing her t-shirts to play basketball, so I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Oh, wow. Okay, you guys not gonna make me cry. You know, we had a Kleenex there.
I love her. I really do.
And I love you too. All you guys. Oh, and by the way, these were all the models that walked in the Walk fashion show. And that was Nerdy Gangsta's first ever fashion show. And these guys rocked the house. They rocked it. Oh my God. And I remember you saying that when you came in for your fitting, that you modeled for various designers, but you were saying that it was refreshing to find one with purpose,
Yes.
with a mission. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Christopher, what's your nerdy gangster moment?
Well, my nerdy gangster moment, I'm going to go back to last year.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did do some things to put me in jail. I was incarcerated. I had a moment laying in bed, a spiritual moment, really. I don't want to get too much into that because I read in the Bible, if you seek recognition from your peers, that's what you're going to get. But if you seek it from God, that's where you get it from. I don't need recognition from people. So me and him, we connected. I made a promise, and I came home. My nerdy gangster moment started from there, changing my friends,
Wow.
actually working, and into modeling, acting, playing the piano, and taking a little bit of voice lessons. Can't sing all that well. But yeah, my nerdy gangster moment is an everyday thing for me. It's tough because every day, people will tell you the streets they call. The opportunity to step back into that is ever so present every single day. But the people I met, Vega being one personally, that I hang out with outside of the modeling, they keep me straight. So my it's just an everyday thing. The modeling aspect though, it was really to step out of my comfort zone. I'm not really a shy person, but in front of large groups of people, I'm more reserved. These people helped me to step out of that. Like earlier, I was dancing. I danced locked up, so I was comfortable there. Earlier, we talked about a forget it moment, and since then, it's just been forget it. I've been in one of the worst spots, so now I'm home. I'm doing something positive. Forget it. Why be sheltered?
Yeah.
So every day is one of those things. Really, the modeling also is a step board for me into my acting career. I want to be an actor, really. So the modeling has opened doors with the connections I've made, and I'm just talking to people. They send me auditions. I've been booked for a couple of things, actually. I have a couple auditions coming up as well. So, like I said, it's an everyday thing. It's fun. It really is. and just being able to learn so much with the modeling, the acting. I still read like I used to while I was incarcerated because it freed my mind more so. So I still do that, working out, all those type of things. They really helped me get out of that bad space that I was in. So
It's better to be booked for a photo shoot than to be booked for a sale, right?
yeah, I'd rather be taking these pictures
Or
than
reading a book.
Mug shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No, I get it 100.
That's what's up.
Wow. OMG. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps here.
another thing, you said kids watch this. I wanted to make a message for the kids. It's never too late to change your life around. No matter where you at, no matter what nobody tell you, you can always change, and that's the beauty of everything. That is really a nerdy gangster moment. That's why I say it's happening every day.
Yes.
I'm changing every day my thought process, so it's never too late to get out of a funk.
Wow.
It's always a way.
It sounds like this helped you grow.
A lot.
Yeah.
I know it helped me grow
Yeah.
in various ways. Various ways. I'll tell you more about it as we go around.
Wow. Okay. Like I said, I where do I even start here? One, just for you, just that story, like you said, that moment where you just, had that. Okay, you know what? That turning point, right? That spiritual interaction that you had, and then just because I didn't even know, like I would not have known, because I mean you are so laser focused. I see you, and you're prepared, you're on point, and I just see that as you coming into your own, like, oh my God. For you to go, it's almost like a transformation, into the butterfly. That's what I just keep seeing as I'm hearing your story. And like you said, it doesn't stop there. Like you said, it's day by day by day, because, once you overcome one thing, then life presents, something else.
Yeah.
And then it's the next thing, But like you said, knowing that fundamental of where your help and where your strength comes from. And then like you said, your surroundings, that is so important. Like you said, surrounding yourself with, positive people, and people that feed, what you're trying to accomplish, and people with similar goals, right? I absolutely love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
And your forget it moment. Okay, we'll circle back to that, right? Where you just said, you know what? I have been through the storm. I have been through the rain. So bring it. Like your confidence. That's where it's just like that gangster, right? Like, I got this, and God's got me, so I can do it.
And it was really eye opening. My mama talks to me about it all the time. I guess she think I don't pray or whatever, but being where I was at around like dangerous people, he really sat with me through everything. A lot of stuff could have happened to me, especially throughout like the first part of my incarceration. A lot of stuff could have happened, but he was there with me. So it's really a trust thing now that I have, because before it was like I can't really trust something I don't see, or somebody that don't physically talk back to me.
Yeah.
But throughout that whole process, like, it was a long time, 10 months. He spoke to me without speaking to me. Wow. He guided me by being by my side and really walked me through a lot of stuff. So I owe a lot to that. I owe a lot to him. So, like I said, the promise, I can't go back. Can't fall back on that. So
I have a question for you. So how does your mom react to you now modeling and having new friends and networking in a different way?
To be honest, my mama think it's a little bit silly, but she rather me be doing something productive than going back. So like she joking with me about it, like, oh, are you getting paid for this? Your model friends want you to go here and do this. So it's like, yeah. So I sometimes we joke, and I get serious, and I be like, look, I'd rather be walking across the stage wearing something that might look silly occasionally than walk back down some of the walks I had with handcuffs and around the wrong type of people. So,
Right.
Because you were building a rap sheet. Now you're building a brand.
yeah, and a resume.
Hey,
So switch.
Now you're
There you
following
go.
quotables.
So
there you go.
my mom, she is definitely a supporter of mine. She definitely supports it. But as far as coming to shows, she be at work, so she don't get to come. But I got friends. Some friends I kept from my past, they are really on my back. So they come out, they support me. They like the pictures. They give me words of encouragement, make sure I keep going. You know, so it's a lot behind what you see, the confidence and all of that. I get it from all different types of angles. So,
Yeah, that support.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Whew. This is why I love this gold table talk. This is so good. Oh my God. Oh my. And, you know, I can so relate to what you're saying because even with starting Nerdy Gangsta, this was outside of my comfort zone. Even doing the gold table talk, like this was way outside of my comfort zone. But like you said, when that trust thing, when you get to that point where you trust God and you know that He's got me. Like He wouldn't have given me this vision. He wouldn't have placed this in my heart if He wasn't gonna see it through or, you know, have it to manifest, right? And so I can tell you just this whole Nerdy Gangsta journey has been just a straight faith walk. Like from doing walk to us, you know, going into our first store, it has just been every day I just wake up like, okay, what's the next step? Because I don't know. I don't know. And every step of the way, I remember when I first started, I was like, oh my God, like I gotta get design, I gotta get a website, I gotta get social media, all of that. I didn't even know where to start. And literally, like, I would just go somewhere and I just talk to somebody about, you know, what we were trying to do. And they were like, oh, I do that. I was like, for real? I mean, you know, so it's always like, when you take that first step, I mean, He's already got everything just prepared for you. He's just waiting on us to take that first step. And once you do that, that's it. So, yay, Christopher. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to keep this train rolling. Dumini. What is your Nerdy Gangsta moment?
Man, I guess my Nerdy Gangsta moment will be all of 2018
Okay.
was where I made a big old forgetting moment, and I decided either I'm going to keep living the way that I was living and surrounding myself with the people I was surrounding myself with, or I'm going to just start doing what it is I want to do, the things that make me happy, the things I've always wanted to do all throughout my life. And I just started doing it. A lot of the people that, I would say about a third of the people, because I talk to a whole lot of people. I'm a real community. I talk to a whole lot of people. Even though like rehearsals, when y'all see me, I'm real quiet for the most part. But outside of that, when you see me at Wayne State, when you see me anywhere, I'm super talkative. I always love talking about something. I'm always rapping about something. I'm always doing something. And I would say that right after I graduated, I went to OCC in 2016. And then that's how I got to meet a whole lot of people and started going to a whole bunch of parties. And by the time of 2018 came around, I felt like I just wasn't satisfied with what was happening. A lot of the people, that third of the people became more prominent and more, their voice was louder than the other 2/3 of people that made me happy, that actually cared about me, that wanted to support me. And it was becoming a thing where I realized that maybe it's not all them, maybe it's me. That the change has to start with me, where I realize that I'm being too loose with the people that I put myself around. I'm not thinking clearly about the things I'm willing to put out into the universe. And
Wow.
now you have to look at it's about the company you keep, but it's also about the house. And am I keeping this house clean? Am I keeping myself in the best position? You know?
Wow.
And I decided to just move on. I decided, keep the friends I had at OCC and finally transfer to Wayne State. Decided I wasn't really feeling the political science major, so I switched to fashion design. Decided that, really start studying what it is to be a model, because every casting call I went to, people said that, there was something wrong with me. I had too much hair, that my height was a little wrong, or, saying that I just wasn't walking right. So I just took a step back and really tried to perfect, or work to perfect, what it means to be a model, and spoke to a lot of different people. And they gave me a whole lot of good advice. And the first show I did was African World Festival 2018.
Okay.
And then after that, as soon as I did that, met some of the best photographers I've known so far. Probably will know a whole lot of them, like Tarek and just, and, Sky and so many different people. Devon Benson, and just took the time to really just build on the things I felt I needed to do instead of a whole lot of distractions. And I would go into more detail, but it's just, I think someone has to be left behind, and then just start focusing on the future rather than the past. And it's just, I would say that my Nerdy Gangsta moment was just working to be a much healthier person, deciding to take the time to really just work on myself and work on how my mind was doing, work on how I was moving literally physically and mentally, spiritually as well, and just leave a whole lot of negativity behind. Stop focusing so much on the negative and start working on focusing on the positive, so I would say that's probably my Nerdy Gangsta moment, is just working on myself and just really realizing to stop being, just start working on myself.
I think he's working on his gangster moment.
Great
Because
moment right now.
he's been working out lately, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I've been working out, big fella.
Man.
Smacks his chest. He's like, get on the table, let's arm wrestle. Big fella, man. And that's how I knew he was working on his gangster moment. So, welcome to that gym life.
3 weeks in.
3
I
weeks
was gonna
in.
say, I've been modeling with you for a while, Dominique, and I'm seeing you make some strides since when I first seen you model. I can tell you've been working on some things, and I just want to say I acknowledge that. So,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just, I just did my 9th show with the Africa World Festival again.
Nice.
About to do, I'm supposed to do a 10th one on September 1st, but I need to see the details on that. And I want to start traveling. And I feel like, I really want to keep building here, but I also want to be able to expand outward. I know you've done Fashion Week. I really want to do Fashion Week.
Oh, that was so long ago, last year.
It's
No, I'm
just,
joking.
I don't know. I've never really done any interviews before, so it's a lot to really go and just express myself in that
Building your
way. Because I'm
resume.
real, I'm real quiet and reserved for the most part. Other than outside of modeling, I'm super talkative, but it's like anytime I get in a modeling position, I'm real to myself, and so it's, I don't know.
But, and that's the thing, when you don't realize it, but when you start to make that transformation, people notice. Like Vega, when she just pointed that out, like, she's like, I saw it, And that's the thing, we don't realize sometimes that people are watching. They're observing that whole process, seeing you go from A to B to C, like, they're checking you out, and I always tell my daughters that, because, and then the other thing is, you never know who's watching you. Sometimes they're watching how you handle certain situations. I know earlier as we were pouring the juice, and we were joking about the glass being half empty or half full. And sometimes it's about that. And I think you said something so pivotal when you said I had to get my house clean.
Yeah.
You know, ooh, I just got chills when you said that, because that, you know, just how you view things, your perspective, how you see things. Do you see the glass half empty, or do you see it half full? You know, because what's that saying? Your attitude determines your altitude a lot of times. And like you said, once you kind of changed how you were thinking, changed your surroundings, you know, who you were, the company that you were keeping, then you started to see that altitude, you know, come to manifestation.
The attitude determines the altitude. I like that.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I like that too.
I need to make that a meme now.
Oh my God. You know, so that's the thing with Nerdy Gangsta. You know, like I've heard people say, don't just talk about it, be about it. And that's what I love about this Gold Table Talk, because with Nerdy Gangsta, we're not just talking about it. We're being about it. We are about it. And I just like hearing you guys' stories and hearing you be about it, that you're not just talking about it. And my hope with this is that someone listening or someone viewing can hear that maybe they're going through something similar, you know, a similar situation. Maybe they're at a point where they need to turn their life around and they just feel stuck, like, how do I get, you know, out of this rut, and maybe get inspired from hearing, you know, you guys' stories. So ooh, okay. But I love too when you said you had to find what fit you, what your purpose was, and you know, you tried the political science, but then you were like, that's not me. You know, fashion design, that's me. Yeah.
I just switched my major then the beginning of May, right at the end of my semester.
Wow.
And it took some time to figure out what my major was, but yeah,
it feels right.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Plus, it seems like it fits you too.
Yeah. I've always been into drawing, and I never really tried to expand on that. So it's just like every time, all through high school and all through my first few years of college, I realized that I think that I have a real good eye for what fits me, style-wise, and I have a good way of expressing myself when I actually do want to get my point across. And if I just make sure that, you know, I pinpoint it, and I can do the right thing. I'm not about to waste anyone's time or resources if I do this right, and I take my time to study it. I take my time to really, you know, manifest it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
awesome. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. All right, Miss Vega, what is your nerdy gangster moment?
Well, let's see. I have a couple of nerdy gangster moments, honestly.
Break it down.
A lot, you know, for starters. I only got a certain amount of time, but you know, from the east side of Detroit. I went to Denby, got a track scholarship to University of Cincinnati. So I was like one of the only few at the time that kind of like made it out of the city of what was going on. And a lot of my friends and people that I just went to school with, people I grew up in the neighborhood, you know, some people didn't make it. Like Chris was saying, it's pretty much a jungle out here. It's pretty much a struggle. And in order to break through barriers, sometimes you got to get past that first line of war, you know, so you can break past that and move along. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people I know didn't make it past there. And I was able to leave out of state, go to college, a big college too, for using track and field, you know, just a gift that God gave me. Mm-hmm. And I was able to push through that. I was in the military for 3 years. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't even know this.
Wow.
I'm very humble on some of my accomplishments and things I've done in life, because I always had an issue with staying with one thing, because when I jump in something, they're like, oh, you're so good and all that, and, you know, I end up jumping into something else, you know. So a lot of my friends that know me, they're like, man, you always doing something different. What's next on the menu? Mm-hmm. So now they see me modeling, and they're like, man, you're killing it out there, man. What are you doing, your model friends and all that? But a lot of people don't know that I had to come to find out that I just really have a passion for art. And art come in many different ways. Acting, modeling, using your body, your voice. I make music, I rap, I'm a creative. So I really want to be able to use my creative energy and as my passion to move forward and make a living off of that. And I see people doing it a lot, so I'm like, why not me? Because I don't want to be that person that's stuck in that 9 to 5, or not even stuck in a 9 to 5, stuck in a business that they come to find out after so many years or so much time that they don't want to do it anymore. It's like stuck in a relationship. You're like, well, we thought we was gonna work, but it's not really working.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you.
Once you move in together.
Right. So it's commitments there. So I tell a lot of people, younger people, that find out what your passion is. Find out the things that you have a love for. Find that out early as you can. Because the sooner you find that out, the sooner you can start working on making that a reality. And it's never too late, because I'm older than a lot of my model friends, but I hang in with them. I tell them I'm just like the young OG, I guess you could say. Me and Chris over there, we like East Side. We pull our inner gangster out to let them know that we can switch it up. But no, seriously, on a bigger note, I really think that's a big part of my inner gangster. Just overcoming obstacles and the things that I had to do to even leave out of Detroit at a time no one was really leaving. And not only that, just not tell my family or anybody, just go into the Army, because I wanted to go further. I wanted to venture. Of course, I wanted money. It was money at the time. Yeah. So of course we all want money, but that's not the only thing. But where I'm at now, I just want to continue on. So like I say, use myself as art. Go into modeling and acting. Eventually start my own clothing line. Continue on with my own vegetarian, vegan cafe, restaurant / brunch bar. So I have visions, and I feel like I want to be able to express myself in those many different ways. Like give you a whiff of my style or what I could bring to the table. You were saying, we were pretty much used to all models being tall, slim. On a lighter note, maybe.
Yeah, way lighter note.
Just so many standards. A lot of those standards still exist, but there's some cracks that's opening up. Yeah. And that's where we come in. We bring our inner gangster out to kind of.
They crack the window, you pull it all the way open.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, so how did you get into modeling? Like, how are you doing it? They figure, like, how did I get up there in model? I'm not, wearing heels or, I don't have a certain type of look that you would think, but I was able to use my brand, my identity, and what God gave me to sell many products out here that can be sold and use it myself, So it's a way to do it. You just gotta, like you said, just more so not talking about it, but being about it. Going to those casting calls, networking with those people, following up with those people. Going to more casting calls, applying for things, applying yourself.
Did the military help with your confidence to do all of this, though?
I would say, to be honest with you, what really helped me with more so confidence on how to handle people. My mom was in radio for over 15 years, so she was sneakers. She would have to, she was single parent. So we have to be in the studio while she's on air engineering and doing all this, and I kind of got a whiff of that, because I'll see my mom. She'd be like, hey, y'all sit down, y'all move, Then when she get on air, she like, yeah, WLQV. You know what I mean? So
yeah, right in the character,
I learned at an early age how to put my nerdy gangster in, you know what I'm saying? So
how to flip the switch.
But college helped me, I was in communications and public relations. I had a class where it's called effective public speaking, where we were forced to do presentations in front of the class. And I was so nervous about it. But we had to do it every week. About time the third, fourth week, those jitters, you just got to get those jitters out. And you just feel like, hey, no matter if it's 5,000 people or if it's 3 people, it's the same amount of people. You know what I mean? You got to just feel homely or feel at home with yourself. And that kind of helped. The military, it gave me a different type of confidence, It gave me a survival mode type confidence.
Oh, elaborate. I want to know now.
Claire might want to know.
I can't go into too much detail because I don't steal all the time. But I'll just leave with this, we used to train out in the field, part of our basic training. So we'll be way out in the woods, We have to sleep in our own tent that we have to make out of a poncho. right? So we're like sleeping in our own raincoat basically, and we're in the real woods. Yeah, we're in North America, but like that's real woods. I mean, I'm talking about the home of the first tick.
Yeah.
You know, we bears, wolves, all this type of stuff. I mean, people camp all the time, but we had to put ourselves in more so of a war mentality that, hey, this is not like being comfortable like we're just on vacation. Something might just come through the bushes and we have to might be ready, you know, like the drill sergeants would throw smoke bombs randomly throughout the night or something just to keep us on our toes in that type of situation. So not saying that's the best way to learn how to, you know, I mean, from the east side of Detroit, we kind of got to learn that anyway. Regardless of where you go, we need those skills,
Just
right?
amp up the PTSD, don't you? Crank up the volume on that one.
No, but just to end on this note, I really just want to continue to use my inner gangster to, like I said, be able to get more into art and being more passive about it and turning that art into an income. And lastly but not least, I'm supposed to be going to Africa this year in December.
Motherland.
So a lot of my friends I went to school with, you know, they own businesses and stuff, and you know, they came together with this trip, and I'm like kind of invested in the trip now. So I was kind of scared because I'm like, ooh, the prices, being on the plane for over 24 hours, all these, just all types of, I just put all these like problems that I just had to take off little by little. Because this is like my first test. Like, if I can just go to Africa, I feel like I can do just about anything, you know, because a lot of family members that I haven't been to Africa or friends. So I just want to let people know, like, hey, we can do this. You know, you don't have to be Africa. You can just be another country, but just to know that you can just, it's another side of the world here, you know. So let's expand our fruits, you know, and to be able to grow and add on to the creative energy we already have, you know, because I can bring Detroit everywhere around the world. We got something that's like, you know, really something good to know.
Yeah, we got a special swagger here.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I hear that
Detroiters.
Motown is like the top, still to this day, the most played music in the world. And
That might be
people
true.
never know
They
that.
did have everybody under Motown, right?
Yeah.
Everybody.
And that's
like
right here in
that.
Detroit. So, you know, we made history in many areas, you know. So it's good to be from this place. And I just want to grow. You know, I really want to grow, go further as I can as long as I'm on this planet. So, yeah, I mean, at that note. And, and thank you for the show. I already know everybody at the table, so that's fortunate, too. I mean, it's the models talk today, so, you know, it's a good chance to get to know you guys, too. You know, Chris, you know, Dooney, you know, and Shamaya. And I was trying to say it on camera. I'm like, man, but Maya, that's why I called you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So
I like what you said. So I have so much to say about, but the Africa thing. But I think, like what you said about being in the military. Well, even going back, even before that, like coming from the east side. I mean, but everything is preparing you, right? So just, you know, growing up on the east side, then going to school, then going to the military. So what I was hearing while you were talking was that forget it moment where it's just like, okay, let's do this. Let's go to Africa because I've already been through this. I've conquered this.
right.
Bring it.
That's how it is.
Levels to
Absolutely.
It's pretty much.
Yeah. And that creativity, I think, is just going to blossom even more because, like you said, you're going to see so much more. Your eyes are going to be open to just so much more of the world,
Yes.
you know. And so that's going to, you know, enable you to create even more and give you the tools that you're going to need for that next thing that you're going to create.
I like the way you put that. That's so true. So it's actually making me look more forward to it.
Yes.
You know, because like I said, at a point in time, I was really kind of like down about it, just because like how much it would cost to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Being on a plane, I don't like planes or heights and stuff. So I'm already like panic attack already. I ain't even started to try to go. You
Just
know,
the thought of it.
But
huh?
I already committed. Like I've already partially financially invested in it. So it's like too late to go back now. And then, you know, everybody's looking forward for us to go. We're all young. We're all, you know, we all have our own businesses, and it's about 10 of us all going on this trip together. So, you know, I'm just like really like trying to put it together before December gets here and just let them know like, hey, I won't fall short. I won't be on the list that's dropping off because there's a lot of people dropping off our list. So I'm just hold my faith, put my strap up and get my nerdy gangster on.
There you
And
go. There you go.
hopefully on one of these next episodes, if I'm brought back, I'll be talking about my Africa trip.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I'll bring in the game
here.
here.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to hear because I know that it is going to be phenomenal, and you're phenomenal. And the other thing that struck me that you said was basically being your authentic self. Not like you were saying. People say, how do you're modeling, but you're not in heels, you're not this, you're not that. You're being your authentic self, and that's you being confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. So you realize, this is who I am, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, but you're focused on your strengths.
Right.
And that exudes through wherever you go. So I love it. And I'm a quote person. I love quotes. And when you were saying that you had some anxiety about going to Africa, one of my favorite quotes from Les Brown says, what is it? Courage is fear that said its prayers. So not saying that you're not fearful, because I think we all, have some level of fear or anxiety when we're doing something that we've never done before, right? It's I think the fear of the unknown, But that courage or that gangster comes in when you say your prayers. You're like, okay, all right, let's do it.
Right. I did what I can do, so what they say, set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
It's out of my hands. It's above me.
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome, Vega.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay, goosebumps again. Just all over. All right, Jared. I know. I already know.
Oh, it's on there already? It went by so fast.
Come on now. Bring us home.
All right.
Oh, I'm taking the glasses off.
You want to take a bite of my meat?
Let me take a sip here.
Go ahead and get ready. Let's see. Being your, what was that? What was that phrase you said? Being your authentic self, right? Mm-hmm. You said that, and that's where all my nerdy began. Because when I was young, I was artsy, very quiet, very shy. I'm an only child, so all I know is me. I'm a little stingy, a little selfish. I like it my way, right? So, growing up, like, of course, thick glasses. I had braces at one point, and I'm an artsy, quiet person, right? So, back then, you got bullied for that. You got bullied, So then, I was on the east side as well when I was growing up at that time, and you want to be tougher. You want to do things tougher. You don't want to be picked on as much, So I drew less. Took the glasses off more. Hung with the wrong people. I didn't hang with the people that were getting the straight A's anymore. I got tired of putting hours in to study, and I wanted to be like the hard kids, right? So then I went down that road, that dirty road, because it's not a clean road, and if you come out clean, then you're blessed. And I would just sit here and say I'm blessed right now. But down that road, I met a lot of different people, a lot of friends that aren't here, a lot of friends that are in jail, a lot of friends that are here raising their families and stuff and got out of that. But, I used to sell dope, weed, all that stuff, everybody else from, us young black males from the city who choose to do that. I was part of that circle. I was part of that community, per se. And I ended up going to Job Corps. I always wanted more, all right? I knew I had an ability, a talent, to do some of the most artistic things in the world. I can draw pictures. I can bring pictures into life. I always wanted to design clothes. But I cut that side. I cut that arm off. I cut that want off. I didn't want it anymore. I wanted to be like my peers who were hard. So when I went to Job Corps, you don't meet the you don't meet the blue collar people. You don't meet the Fortune 500 people. You meet the kids that are left, whose parents can't do anything with them, so they just send them off to Job Corps. I was in a tough crowd, a tough group, a lot of gang violence, a lot of gang members. Even though it's a government-funded program, there was a lot of things that went on that weren't funded by the government, you know. But Job Corps still was a good program because I got a trade out of it. I didn't just go there and just mess around. I can see the kid up there. I can see my son up there. Because that's just the environment we were in. You put all these savages inside of a boat and you just said make the best of it and go to class in the morning. So we just ran wild a lot. A lot of people didn't even get through the program. I got through both levels of the program, a glazing program, which allowed me to get a job when I left the program. And being able to focus, I got a lot of nerdy gangster moments because here I am hanging with the gang members, but at the same time, I'm building my education. And yes, this looks dirty on this sheet, but right here, I'm cleaning it up a little bit. So I'm trying to find the good in it because deep down, I am getting tired of the stress of having to be so hard all the time and having to, you know, throw the hands all the time or whatever else comes with it. You get tired. And so I wanted more, and I was always trying to get more. So even when I got out of Job Corps, got a lot of good jobs, really good jobs, a lot of good career opportunities because the trade I was in allowed me to. It was a pretty good trade. You walk in, and they give you X amount of dollars that you might start. I started making more money than the people who were there 5 and 6 years coming to these places. But then I was just in an environment with all gang members. So I have to readjust who I am a little bit. I have to learn how to be both, hit the on and off switch. Had to be professional but know when to get gangsta at the same time. But eventually I got to the point where I didn't want to even get gangsta at all. You know, you start watching your friends just drop like flies, and you know, you go to jail, you're sitting in police cars, you're getting beat up by police. You know, I've had my incidences that weren't pretty. And then I got an email, you know, this is fast forward in time. I got an email from a young lady. She said she saw a couple pictures on Facebook. She said, you should model. You should try to model. I'm like, man, I'm not about to do that BS. I wish I would model. I'm thugging. You know what I mean? Got my job, got my little side hustle. I'll never do that. I'm good. You know, hanging with my friends. We on the block. We doing it. We doing what we're doing. And then I spoke to a cousin, and it was like her dream to do it. And she was talking about it, all the different possibilities that can come from modeling. It was her dream. Oh, she wants to travel to Paris. And I'm sitting there just blown out of my mind, just listening to her like, dang, all that for modeling, huh? F it. I'm going to give it a shot. Opened up the email, I asked the lady when was the next model call. She's like, oh, next week. It was in, I think it was like August or something. Not August. It was the first time we did a walk fashion show. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I go there, I'm thinking it's going to be like 14 people trying out. It's going to be a small little ghetto event. Nobody's going to really care. I get there, it's like 250 people in line, all kind of model-built people, supreme model look people with just the tightest jeans, ripped to shreds, and they got their shades on. They're in character all the way. And here I am, just got out the car smelling like weed, like... So then it kind of woke me up a little bit. Okay, let me go ahead and give it a shot. I was with a cousin, all right? Doesn't have any model abilities. Nobody ever told him to model. This guy's like 6'7", you know, 250 pounds, you know, big guy, you know, and I was nervous. And to help me get down that walk, he did it first. Okay. He went first, and he joked down the whole way. I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, you a fool. But I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give it a shot, too. I didn't do what he did, but I gave him my 100. And I got selected. I got selected. And the feel of fast forward doing the fashion shows, it was an intoxicating feeling. It was like getting high for the first time. It's like, oh, what is this? What is this feeling? It's like the air feels different. You feel like you can die now. Like, yo, everything is complete. I'm happy. I don't need to do...
It was the high without the high.
It was the high without the high. It was being high off life.
Yeah.
Really high off life
Yeah.
because I'm elevated on this runway, looking at all these cameras, all these lights. I saw a different kind of lights and cameras back then. You know, when you're sitting in the car, flashlight to the window.
No,
That's
you
the kind of
definitely
lights.
have a point. Like going down the runway is
Mhm.
so much adrenaline. You know, it kind of gave me a similar feeling to when I ran track. Like,
Yeah.
and on your mark, just imagine those seconds. You over like it's I'm about to burst. You know,
Mhm.
so it's like I kind of missed that feeling. I was like, man, my life is boring. I don't have no excitement. And I
Yeah.
walked down a little runway. I'm like, oh. I'm like, we standing. I'm talking about long hours, 8-10 hours sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
things that won't, putting stuff off, and no one really never complains because it's a passion that we feeling for it. You know,
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
made me feel new.
Yeah,
Yes.
It made me feel new. I felt like I could recreate myself.
that's what's up.
I did more once I took it a little bit more serious. I decided that I was going to do something way different than just work and hustle and make a little music here and there. I need to work on my brand. I need to work on who I am. I said I wanted to make clothes a long time ago, but I was always drawing pictures and I never brought it back to life in my older years because I was still caught in the want to make the money the dirty way, want to make it the clean way, and I was caught in that mindset. And I was in the rat race of life, pay bills, and everything else that comes along with being an adult. Responsibilities times 10. And I got caught in that. But Walk Fashion Show opened me up because I became a brand ambassador shortly after my first show. And I met a lot of dynamic people, a lot of good photographers. I took a headshot. I put it on LinkedIn. In time, I was contacted by a company to ask me if I wanted to do like ad commercials on the internet. And I was like, I'll do it. And they looked at my picture and thought I had charisma. Ooh, he's got what it takes. I like him. So they hit me up in the message. And I was skeptical. I didn't respond for 3 days. Start researching the company. I got gat a few times. We say when something happens to you that we call it gat, right? I got gat a few times with the music. Western Union, some people, some money. You can perform out here. So I was Western Union, $250 to go perform in Atlanta. Next thing you know, it's not a promoter. It's fake. I went for a lot of different things trying to push myself, trying to get out of this norm, out of this box, out of this quicksand box of life. I wanted to live more. And I knew I was dying fast this way. And when I started modeling, I felt life. I felt it in my chest. I felt it in my nose. I felt it in my feet. Rehearsals were long as ever. Your feet hurt after, but it's worth it when that show is over and people are cheering and you're backstage and you're hugging people and you're high-fiving and woo. First show I did with you were woo, high fives. She got high off life too. We all got high off life.
Wow.
But that's modeling helped me grow like it helped you grow. Helped me become a better man. I work with different people, different genders, different sexualities, different everything. And you have to learn how to adjust to people. You have to get out of your box, your norm. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes you can get caught up. You can start creating a person that you don't even want to be. You can create a persona. Your ego can get so big sometimes. It can get the worst of you. And I even felt rejection in modeling. And I felt like it was necessary. I felt rejection one time. But it was one time enough to make me humble myself and refocus and reapproach everything. Because you can't walk in anything with the big chest, with the big head, and just think you're going to go far. Somebody's going to chop your legs off and humble you. And I got humbled. Ever since then, I hit the gym. But then it killed my ego enough to now I present myself as me. 4 months ago, I would have never came in here with these big old pop bottle glasses talking about, yeah, nerdy. Yeah. I would never even show that off. I would never show you the true me. I don't tell people I'm blind. I can't even read your shirt if I take these off. I don't want to show that weakness. But me getting cut from something opened me up to just say, F it, forget it. I'm going to be me. I'm going to give you me. This is who I am. And now I'm working on more things. I as well began a clothing line. I'm happy about it. Back in school for a whole nother reason, to own a 3D printing company, to further the future in different ways, beyond
I'm going to school
Just
for
fashion.
that too this upcoming winter.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Because that's the future.
Wow.
You can go down so many different roads with 3D printing. I intend to use it for fashion show productions
Yeah,
because you can
goosebumps.
do it through
Like,
CAD.
you know,
You can put your vision on a laptop,
Right.
different programs, create your vision, and make a profit from it. Use this modeling as a springboard. Whatever you want to do, you don't always have to just use it to do a photo shoot or do a fashion show. Get out there, do your comedy. Get out there, own your clothing line. Get out there and be the best nurse you can be. You be the best model you can be, the best clothing designer you can be, and you keep doing your thing and using this as a platform because that was a platform. That's how you got us to model first. And now we're sitting here telling you our story about how nerdy gangster we are. You know, and I'm happy for this opportunity, and I thank you for it because it's not often that people in this industry want to know about you. They want to know about the outer you.
True.
They want to know about the shell. But who wants to know about the man or the woman? Who wants to know about the person inside? And that's why I'm happy you invited us here because I feel like I just met friends.
Wow.
Yes. I'm about to cry.
I concur.
I know, right?
I'm about to slice
Wow, I
of
felt that.
I felt it in my soul. Oh my God. You know, sometimes we.
You got it.
Sometimes we think that it's about us. You know, sometimes, you know, they say, you know, if it's not a, thank you, a vision that's so big that it scares you, it's not big enough. And sometimes when things present themselves, or even when God, you know, places a vision in your heart, and you start to think about my weaknesses, like, how am I ever going to do that? And we think it's about us, but it's not. It's about others. Because I'll tell you, starting this gold table talk, when I tell you this was so outside my comfort zone, like, I'm such a shy, introverted person, but I didn't know that it wasn't about me. It was about others. And to hear you say that, you know, it's validation to know that, yep, me just stepping out there, even though that fear we were talking about, you know, even though you have that anxiety, just do it. You know, that trust factor. Just do it because it was a lady on the last Gold Table Talk, and it was a quote. I tell you, I love quotes. But she said, who loses if I don't win? And when she said it, I was like, but then it just registered, like, if I don't do what I'm called to do, you just don't know how many other people are waiting on you to step out there and do what you're called to do. You know, so this Gold Table Talk, being able to have you guys on, to you talk about your authentic self, to go deeper, like you said, not just the outer shell, but the inner self, the inner man, the inner woman. There's something deeper than just this person walking down the runway and these clothes that I got on. There's something way more deeper. And to just pull that out and see that and be vulnerable, right? Because, I mean, for us to sit here and kind of talk about these really deep internal experiences, I mean, you do have to be vulnerable and put yourself out there. But it is empowering. And I can't wait to just hear the feedback that we're going to get, you know, from this, to see how many people heard your stories, heard what you went through, and were empowered because of it. You know, I just from everybody that spoke, I hear some reoccurring themes. I heard, you know, being your authentic self, having those forget it moments where you're walking into that level of confidence, you know. It just, gosh. I guess the takeaway for today for everybody is just continue that. And I think, Christopher, you said it best, that it doesn't stop. It's a continual day by day, moment by moment, experience by experience, because you're constantly going to that next level. You know, Vega, you going to Africa, you know, you want to start that restaurant or those things. It's whenever you start those new things, it's the unknown. You don't know what's coming next. You don't know what's going to present itself. But just that using what you used in those previous experiences and building on that, and, you know, saying, well, if I got through east side of Detroit, if I got through college, if I got through the Army, surely I can do X, Y, and Z. Shemaya, you know, if I got through, you know, this childhood illness and actually use that to come into my own and come into my purpose and find myself and find my authentic self, you know, not worrying about my hair. I like my short hair and I love how I look, and just being comfortable in who you are and how beautiful you all are. That is just, that's it. That is it. Because I think so many people struggle with that. So I want to thank you all, one, for the Walk Fashion Show, you guys walking and representing Nerdy Gangsta. But it was just truly a blessing. But it was just truly a blessing to meet you guys and not just see just the shell, just the outer person, but get to know you at a deeper level and individually. So, and thank you for coming on the Gold Table Talk and sharing those stories and those Nerdy Gangsta moments. So, with that, anybody have any closing thoughts? Or
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you.
Definitely.
Opportunity.
One of the coolest people that I knew
Yeah.
at the Walk Fashion Show in regards to designers is real patient, real loving, real caring.
Yes.
And outside of that, you still express that. Super patient, super just trying to bring people in like we're family, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, let's raise a glass to the gold table. Woo woo. And that's a wrap.